Welcome back to Parke Jones. We're finally getting some insight into Toledo Police's investigation in the Kei'Mani Latigue case. You're going to want to watch this until the very end because there is a lot of circumstantial evidence here, and after reviewing everything, I want to know, what conclusions did you come to? Let's start at the beginning of Kei'Mani's disappearance. So she went missing on March 18th, and WTOL recently released her grandmother Dorothy Latigue's call to 911 where she first reported Kei'Mani missing. Let's take a moment to listen to this tape.
Regional dispatch, not emergency.
Yes, I'd like to make a police report.
Okay, what's the address?
Elm Street.
Okay, what kind of report?
A missing person.
Okay, what's your name?
Mine or hers?
Yours.
Dorothy.
Okay, and who's
Latigue.
missing?
Kei'Mani.
Is this your daughter or son?
This is my granddaughter.
Okay, do you have custody?
I do.
Okay, how old is she?
13.
How long ago she's been missing?
To the best of my understanding, she's just been missing this morning. And I called her school and went up to her school, and they said she's not there.
What school does she go to?
Spring.
Do you remember, did you see what she was wearing before she left?
No, she's usually going to school before I get home from work.
Okay. Is she black, white, or Hispanic?
She's black. She looks Hispanic.
Okay, and then what was her last name?
Latigue.
Your phone number?
419.
Okay, does she have a phone on her that you're aware of?
She does, and it's dead because it's going straight to voicemail.
All right, they'll be out then. They'll be out.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, bye.
What are your thoughts on Dorothy's call? She's rather calm for someone whose 13-year-old granddaughter is missing. Remember, Kei'Mani's not at school. Her phone is going straight to voicemail. The gas from the stove is on. Kei'Mani's clothes are in the dining room, blood-stained underwear, but no big deal. Dorothy has always come across as showing minimal emotion or concern. Granted, people react to situations differently, but in interviews where she discusses the situation, it's very clinical, which is why she gets so much scrutiny. But we know Dorothy is capable of emotion. We've seen more instances of her being angry and frustrated than we have of her being sad. Case in point, when the community waited outside of the home on Miami Street before police confirmed if Kei'Mani's body was inside, Dorothy walks over to the crowd, and she was angry that people were accusing her of having a hand in Kei'Mani's disappearance.
Where you been at? Y'all need to fuck her. Cut that bitch.
Cause she know.
Everybody. You gonna get your ass whooped.
Not that out.
Leave her alone, Mike.
No, that ain't happening. That's crazy.
What you mean what I got to say? I ain't got nothing to do with this. How about that? No, I did not. No, I did not. No. You said Monday she came up to yeah. No, you shut the fuck up.
You got this baby. You got this baby. You got this baby, honey. You got this baby. No, baby, no. No, you got this baby. No, it's not worth it. It's not worth it.
Okay. I got you. 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 Touching me. You're not gonna keep playing with me, bro. You're not gonna keep playing with me, bro. You're not gonna keep playing with me, bro. And I got you. And I got you. You know we got that bitch. You already know we got her. And like I said, whatever the fuck this will be reciprocated, period. I don't give no about how the none of y'all feel. And I done had shit with it. Flash. Watch out. I ain't stupid.
Dorothy, you might not have nothing to do with it, but you know what's going on.
No, the I don't.
Yes, you do.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do, Dorothy.
Thanks for passing judgment.
No, that's crazy as fuck.
You did that to your own grandbaby.
Own grandbaby.
You told me I was supposed to be aborted and that you gave me life anyway, so I wanted to do something for you. I let you see your first fucking grandchild come into this world, and this is what you do to her?
She was cussing and ready to fight, which is insane because she's probably somewhere in her 50s. So the only way I can wrap my head around someone being calm when reporting a missing child is if that child is a habitual runaway. But I want to make a point in letting you know that it's never been shared or implied that Kei'Mani had a history of this behavior. We're taking a hard pivot and jumping into some search warrants. So what we learned is that police suspected Darnell's involvement as well as his cousin Kalop Jones-Dixon from the very beginning, which is what many of you also speculated.
Darnell Jones-Dixon pleaded not guilty to killing his 13-year-old daughter, Kei'Mani Latigue, this week. But our 11 Investigates team is learning much more about the police investigation into her death. Lead investigator Brian Duggar joins us in the studio. Brian, you have some interesting records.
Yeah, we obtained 11 different warrants this morning, and they show that detectives immediately zeroed in on not only Darnell Jones, but also his cousin, Kalop Jones-Dixon. So the men told police they went to Kei'Mani's house after she called to say she was scared. Police said they were seen on a surveillance video at the house. And Darnell Jones said they stayed until 12:30 in the morning. Then he was dropped off at home by Jones-Dixon, but police were suspicious of these stories. And during searches last month, a plastic car mat, boots, clothing, phones, a gun, a knife, hatchet, a security system, and other items were taken from the men's homes.
So let's break down these warrants. First thing we learned is that Dorothy saw blood-stained underwear in the home. When she returned, they were gone. She shared with police that she suspected that Darnell may have gotten a hold of them. Now, what I find interesting is that at the start of the investigation, Dorothy implied that police didn't do a thorough job with collecting evidence. Search warrants also revealed that Darnell and Kalop provided statements to police that were inconsistent with each other and with known facts. One discrepancy is that surveillance footage captured both men at the home with Kei'Mani contradicting previous statements. And on March 21st, police searched Darnell's home on Willard Street to collect evidence. This is the home he shared with his girlfriend Nina, who cooperated with police from day one. Nina informed police that Darnell had placed a mat under their basement steps, and he had asked her to disable the security camera on the morning of Kei'Mani's disappearance.
Kei'Mani used to be over my house all the time, and we loved her. And now she gonna have to grow up without seeing her sister anymore. I mean, I don't feel bad for anything he going through, but her, she did not deserve none of that she got. Nobody do.
She didn't want us to show her face, but you can hear her voice trembling as Darnell Jones's then-girlfriend shares how she helped Toledo police with evidence in the case. Last Friday, police set up a meeting to question Jones.
The weird thing about it is because before they even showed up, he asked me to turn my cameras off. I have cameras in my house, and he asked me to turn them off. And I was like, why would you want me to turn the cameras off? He said, because I didn't come home till 5 o'clock that morning. And he didn't want them to suspect anything because he didn't show up till 5. And I'm like, well, thinking in my head, I'm like, well, if you don't have anything to hide, then why should I turn the cameras off? And I didn't, but he thought I did.
Now, police also have phone records and GPS data. They obtained phone records for the phones of Darnell, Dorothy, and Tiara Caston, who was Kei'Mani's biological mother and Dorothy's daughter. A phone associated with Dorothy's warrant made its last call at 1:49 a.m., peering near addresses linked to both Darnell and Kalop. It's not known whose phone it was, but according to WTOL, Dorothy was at work that night, 8 miles away from the ping. Then, in a twist of events, police also discovered a recorded phone call between Darnell and his mother, Linda Ogletree.
Now, phone records were also obtained for the phone of Linda Ogletree, the mother of Darnell. And records indicate police believe she talked to him in a recorded call in the days after the disappearance. However, she told police she had not talked to him and knew nothing about the case.
So, Linda lied to police, and what we just saw in the London Thomas case, a woman had been charged with lying to police. So I'm really curious to see what goes on with Linda here. Anyways, the last key detail in the search warrant is the discovery of Kei'Mani's body, which was found on March 21st in a burned-out home on Miami Street. And this is where police say Darnell admitted to dragging Kei'Mani into the Miami Street house and ending her life. Darnell has been charged with multiple offenses, and he pleaded not guilty during his arraignment in Lucas County Common Pleas Court. Darnell's appointed attorney is a man named David Klukas. Now, what I don't like is that David's son works in the prosecutor's office. I'm not implying that David or his son would do something to compromise the trial, but I want a clean case. Because at the end of the day, when a verdict is read, I don't want anyone coming out of the woodwork claiming that there was a conflict of interest, okay? Kei'Mani deserves better than that. So, we have a lot to digest here. My perspective is that there might be some more arrests to be made. I've always felt that Darnell did not act alone, so curious to see where things go. I want any and everybody involved to be held accountable, but let me know your thoughts. I'm curious to hear what conclusions you piece together. If you like the work I'm doing here on the channel, please take a moment to like, comment, and subscribe. I'm your host, Parke Jones, and I'll catch you on the next one.